Hi guys, this is Phil with We Heart Music Radio. So we're going to talk about the history of the DC Universe. As you know, I love Crisis on Infinite Earth. Originally, Crisis on Infinite Earth, the original title was called History of the DC Universe. And it was envisioned by Marv Wolfman, who thought that he was going to do a 10-issue Crisis series, and then it'll be the last 2 issues will be these, which would be kind of like bookends. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but the story expanded. They came to 12 issues, 2 double-sized issues, number 7 and number 12 were double-sized. And then History of the DC Universe, which is basically a rewritten of the DC Universe in kind of like a Time Life book type of just basically pictures and then very few texts, and it was deliberately designed that way. And really what it did is actually showcase George Perez's wonderful art. For a long time, History of the DC Universe was out of print for a long time. They eventually got Alex Ross to do new cover for the reissue. This is maybe 2001 or 2002, forget. And then they reissued again with a slightly different cover design. I think this is the first printing of it. But as much as I love History of the DC Universe, a lot of you guys might not actually have the basically Graphitti did a reissue of a collected edition, and this is like a deluxe edition maybe. And you have to remember, back in 1998 or 1999, I forget when this book was released. Let's take a look. In 1988, oh my god, I'm off for like 10 years. So you have to remember, back in the day, DC even Marvel didn't reprint stuff at all. Most of their stuff were kind of printed and gone and disappeared. The practice of releasing them as trade paperback really didn't come out until, like, I would say probably the 90s. And then it started becoming more common, and then became probably the most popular format that a lot of comic book readers are buying today. Because anyway, but back in 1988, they basically let Graphitti design redo this book. And they, in addition to the 2 prestige format books, they also added a bunch of new material for this collector edition. Now, this wasn't cheap. As you can see on here, it says $35. Back in 1988, that's got to be like $1 million. There's 2 versions of this. There's a signed edition, and then there's which I don't have. This is just a regular standard edition. So one of the new thing you got is a new Bill Sienkiewicz cover. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but that's fine. I've always pronounced it Bill Sienkiewicz. It's just how, this is before the internet. And then you got this, basically, did the dust jacket. Okay, let's take a look at some of the, so you got like an introduction by Marv, new introduction by, it looks like Neil Adam. He also did a Superman picture. Julia Schwartz, who is no longer with us. Dear Sleeper by Jerry Spiegel. Wow, this is really before he died, passed away. Bob Kane, Boo, Joe Kubert, Roy Thomas. So all these are like new art and new, basically, introduction or just essays. Wow, look at this, Steve Bissett and John Tolobin. I love John's work. He does great lines. Lean Ween, oh, the late Lean Ween. Oh, Jack Kirby, great. Wow, even Jack Kirby wrote this little introduction. So all these essays have never been reprinted anywhere. In fact, actually, DC went back and reissued. This is actually exclusive to this book, which is George, and I think it's Tina Robbins, or wait, who is the other artist on here? Yeah, Trina Robbins, who did this part, and then George did a painting of a Wonder Woman, and also George did a write-up as well. And then Frank Miller, I've seen this artwork before. It's possibly from The Dark Knight Returns, but I can't, off the top of my head, I don't know. But I've seen this artwork before, so this might not be that new, but Frank afterward on here. And then what's really cool is you got this gateway photo of so basically 53 artists, and this is great. Now imagine getting 53 artists together to do a piece, and they all don't really live together or live in the same area, so these got to be mailed out back and forth. This probably took a long time to compile. Everybody got their signatures on here. Look at Steve Lytle's signature. I mean, these are basically all the great artists of DC Comics. Oh my God, look at Walt Simonson here. Yeah, so this is actually I really, I think I've been told this was made into a poster. I can't be sure about that, but man, DC, they really need to talk to Graphitti and have them reissue this as basically a great cover or a poster. It'll be great. But yeah, classic characters. I hate to say it, but the new 52 stuff, I just hate that. All right, so yeah, so this is basically a rebirth of, and like I said, it really showcased George's excellent design. Like I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is George has a great eye for design, and in addition to his detailed works, I mean, let's take a look at the Teen Titan one because he did a great splash. So yeah, this is the two classic Superman, Batman. I mean. This kind of definitely has a Frank Miller vibe to it. I mean, you look at the dark, jagged lines, and then you got a little Robin down here. Where's the Teen Titan one? No, there's well, that's the original Teen Titans, but maybe the new Teen Titans doesn't show up till a little later. Or did I miss them? Oh, there it is. Look at this design. I mean, this is beautiful. You got the central figures. You got the three. I mean, George is kind of like a trifold, where you got three. Your eyes is in the center, but then you got two distracting things on the side, and each one is significant in some ways. Like this Robin down here. Nightwing, he eventually turns into that. Aqualad and or what's the Aqualass or Aquagirl? Speedy, Kid Flash. I mean, this is even Lilith is on there with Azrael. I think didn't he? Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't want to get they came in a little later, but in the original series, actually, she was part of that gang. But anyway. But yeah, this is just beautiful layout and design. Of course, they have Crisis recapped all 12 issues in basically 2 pages. Yeah, this is great, really. It's supposed to be like a Time Life book. If you can imagine that, then you'll really appreciate what History of the DC Universe. Man, I love the Legion. All right. So yeah, if you can get a chance, this is the limited edition History of the DC Universe, Wolfman Perez, $35, but I think today's money, it's worth it. I don't know if 35 bucks in 1988 was worth it, but in today's value, 35 bucks I think is a good price. It's a fair price for what it is, because you gotta remember, a lot of this stuff has never been printed anywhere else. So hope you can find a copy yourself. I personally didn't get this when it first came out. Kind of regret it because I bought this used, and I think I paid about 35 bucks for it. But what I really would love is that a signed edition. But yeah, there's no way I'm paying like $100 for it. But anyway, yeah. So, but if you got the original, that's cool too. I don't think you need to upgrade or anything.